Hey everyone, so a little update on the Phisnom drama, which, well, if you haven't been following, like I have, I went on to Twitter and Twitter, and I saw this post by Johnny Blocks. Five Nights at Freddy's Plus on Steam has removed its attached developer Phisnom, with him also being banned on the page's discussion forum. This is a developing situation. I'll provide more updates to come. Yada yada yada. So if you did not know about the whole Phisnom drama and shit, uh, you know, well, I already did a whole video about it, but yeah. So basically, there was a creator, um, a small content creator. I can't remember who it was by, but he made a was a like a what was it? I'm trying to think. It's been a couple of days, and I'm okay. So how it went is that Phisnom did a stream of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruins DLC, said it was boring and that, and then a smaller content creator by I think it was Alex Jason Gaming. He went like under like a post of Physnoms and said like, oh, when FNAF Plus comes out, we should all say, well, that was boring. So, after Alex said that, he got a bunch of death threats and gore compilations sent to him by Physnom's fanbase. Physnom, instead of apologizing, he did make a joke in that, but then after he did apologize, which, the apology should have came first, then, jokes later. But this was all because Phisnom said FNAF Security Breach DLC was boring, and then Alex basically said it's like, oh, let's say Physnom's game is boring when it comes out. So from my understanding, I thought it was just Physnom being an asshole to someone, but looking into it a bit deeper was Alex kind of initiated the all the hatred. I was thinking oh, Alex probably said something that Phisnom didn't like, or his fan base. So Phisnom did say he has no control over his fan base, which technically is true. Because no matter how big of a creator you are, you don't really have full control over your fan base. You have maybe 60%, 70% control over the fan base of people that will actually listen to you. But then there's the 40 or 30% of people that won't listen to you and try and still defend you anyway by doing stupid shit. So, yeah, and then Phisnom just gets removed from the thing. As you can see here, it says publisher click team, which I went into Steam. And as you can see right here, publisher click team. So Phisnom has been removed and shit. So, let's just hope that they stick with Physnom's vision of the remake and shit, instead of just doing their own thing and probably ruining it. Like every game company does. So, yeah. But they did say Phisnom had there was a frequently asked questions, and you see on the top here it does say he is banned. So, yeah, Phisnom got banned. But I still do think, yes, Phisnom is at fault for making the jokes first and that. But Alex did sort of initiate the drama by going up to, basically saying that, oh, because Phisnom said the Ruins DLC was boring, let's say the, FNAF Plus is boring. Which, from the looks of it, FNAF, Ruins DLC is actually good. Even if you do not like Ruins, that's fine. That's completely fine. Your fan base and shit. If you say, well, this is a kind of a boring game for me. I'm pretty sure the actual fans who follow you that have brain cells would understand that, oh, it's not for everyone. So, Because I don't think Phisnom actually said anything outright negative about it, like the game is shit or something. He just said, well, it's boring, you know? Because, Phisnom has seen horror. He's making a FNAF horror game. So, to him, the kind of child-friendly game that is Security Breach is a bit less on horror compared to Five Nights at Freddy Plus, which is more horror, like more actual like scary horror. So yeah, like when another creator comes in and just says, "Oh, this whole game that has been anticipated for like months and shit now." Let's say that game is boring because a larger creator said my favorite game was boring. It's like you are kind of also at fault for initiating that. So yeah, it is disgusting that they got death threats and gore compilation shit, and then the creator of FNAF Plus was like saying jokes and shit at first, which yes, both of them are at fault. There is no one side to this. So I think Phisnom should come back. Like, a lot of people wanted him banned and shit because he made a joke first and then apologized. Where it's like, well, don't ban them. Like, tell them, like, hey, grow up. Like, just say, like, fix the attitude and shit, and then just, fucking just apologize straight up. Like, you don't have to apologize to them about saying the game, their favorite game sucked. Just apologize that your the idiocy of part of your fan base is sending them death threats and shit. Just apologize for that. Like, you don't speak for that part of the fan base. Because, that's just some shit I would do. It was like, I did not initiate. I don't think Phisnom actually ever said anything about, oh, this creator says, say my game is boring. Quick, send them death threats and gore compilations. I don't think he ever said that. I don't think Phisnom is the type of person to actually do that, because that is fucked up. Even for him. Like, I don't even think he took it that personally either. Like, Alex saying, oh, let's say FNAF Plus was boring when it comes out. Like, I don't think Phisnom took great offense to that. If people find... I'm pretty sure with Phisnom, if people find his game boring, who the fuck cares? Like, people have their own tastes, basically. But people getting Phisnom banned for, jerking at, like... People, banning Phisnom for all this shit, yet don't see Alex kind of initiated the fucking whole, thing. It's like, it just fucking messes with the head. It's just like, on one side, you have someone who... you have a developer of a FNAF game who understands horror and played a FNAF game that's more akin to kids and said it was just boring to him. To him. It was boring to him. He didn't speak for everyone. He said it was boring to him. And then on the other hand, you have a smaller FNAF content creator who, well, thinking about what he said, he must hold Security Breach in some high regard. So he just says, oh, let's say this creator's game was boring because he said my favorite game is boring. Like, that's a bit salty, is it not? Like, yes, I understand being salty. I'm pretty sure everyone does. But, Alex, you kind of initiated all the shit, at first, and then Phisnom gets fucking banned. How is Alex also not at fault for starting it? I know, there's going to be some disagreements with me, but looking at both sides of it as an outsider, not as in any respective fan base, as an outsider, I see both at fault. Because on one hand, yeah, you got, Phisnom who did... The only thing Phisnom, I see that he's at fault for is not apologizing for, the shit his fan base is doing. But also, on the other hand, Alex is also at fault for initializing the fucking hate. Like, there, there is no one side to it. There's both of them are at fault for something. Like Phisnom not apologizing first, making a joke first. Alex, like making a, like saying like just talking shit, and then getting death threats and shit coming at him. It's like, Alex, if you're hearing this, Phisnom did not say for everyone that it's boring for everyone and that no one likes it. It's just his opinion in the game. If he doesn't like the game, that's fine. Let him be like that. I mean, he's literally a creator of a FNAF game. Like, you should understand that he knows what, like, horror is. You're, like, basically, it's playing, like, Security Breach is more akin to kids' horror. That's what that is. That's how far, like, FNAF is going down. It's just, actual, like, horror slowly going down to kids' horror. Which is, it's scary, but it's not outright, keeping kids awake for, like, fucking days. I mean, I grew up with the fucking creepypasta and shit. That alone will make you kids nowadays fucking want to sleep in a concrete box. Yeah, it sounds weird, but hey, that's what older creepypastas used to be like. They would want to make you sleep with the lights on, like just giant spotlights pointed everywhere, make a room just brighten everything. That's what old creepypastas and shit used to be. That's what the original FNAF used to be like. The first FNAF game was just actual horror. The latest FNAF games is more akin to kid horror. Or children horror, I guess. I don't know what the fuck to say. Kids horror, I guess? It's something like Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime and that. It's kids horror. It's not going to be scary for everyone. Unless, like, you're Optimus and you're just, like, kind of listening and shit, and then, boom, jump scare. But, yeah, I do see both of them at fault. So, yeah. Because just to let you know, I do not want to hear any, like, Alex is, he got sent death threats and shit. Well, he did say he was literally stating to his followers to go to FNAF Plus and say it was boring. Like, he wasn't speaking to himself. He was literally saying it to everyone who followed him. Like, how is that not, like, bad? Oh, Phisnom made a joke instead of apologizing. Yeah, okay. Then he apologized later and shit, which is not something he should have done in the first place. But Alex was kind of telling all his followers to go to FNAF Plus and then say it was boring when it comes out. Even though Phisnom was, like, saying his own opinion of the game. He wasn't speaking to all his fans like, hey, everyone say FNAF Plus. I keep saying FNAF Plus. Hey, say the Ruins DLC is boring. Like, he's not saying it for all his fans. He's just saying it to himself. He's just like, well, that was boring to me. I don't get where people think it's one-sided. It's not. It's not one-sided. It's like both of them are at fault. Like, that's just my thoughts on it, because the Click team should add Phisnom back. Like, Scott, if you're listening to this, which you probably fucking aren't, because you're busy doing your own shit, like, tell Phisnom next time shit like this happens, just apologize first, then tell the jokes later. And then, fucking tell Alex not to fucking start shit. Which he kind of did, like, to himself. Like, I'm not repeating it again. But yeah, like, bring Phisnom back for FNAF Plus, because, like, yes, he should have apologized. Okay, I'm gonna repeat this one last time. Phisnom should have apologized first, yes. Should have made the jokes after, maybe a bit later and shit. But also, at the same time, Alex should not have fucking told his fans, like, to be like, oh, let's say FNAF Plus is boring when it comes out. He was like Alex was speaking to his own fan base, while Phisnom said, well, that was boring basically to himself. That Phisnom was saying his own opinion, and Alex was fucking saying to everyone, let's say FNAF Plus is boring. So if that's not initiating drama, I fucking don't know what is now. Like, there's beef between people, and there's beef between a fan base, or like a fan base versus a creator and shit. Like drama nowadays is just absolutely fucking stupid. But yes, I see both of them at fault for something, so that's just my thoughts. Don't try and at me and try and fight me on this, because you're not going to change my fucking opinion. Both of them are at fault, that's it, but Phisnom should come back, like, should be allowed to be the creator of FNAF Plus, since he was the one doing it, so, yeah. That's just my thoughts. Like, Phisnom should be allowed back to, create the game Scott asked them to make. So, yeah, next time, Alex, don't start shit. Just because someone said your favorite game is boring, don't fucking take it to that level. Just don't. Just fucking don't. Like, that's the reason why you got death threats and shit in the first place, because you basically initiated drama. And then Phisnom initiated drama by not apologizing and making a joke first. That is how it goes. So, yeah. Anyways, this is just a little update. Remember, this was by Johnny Blocks, who is into the FNAF stuff. I know he says content creator and news reporter for the indie horror scene. I thought it was just probably a FNAF YouTuber. But yeah, this is by Johnny Blocks and that. Yeah, that's about it. Also, I am making a little bit side note, I am making a FNAF book. Yes, I am doing that. I am writing a FNAF book. I have made like original characters for it, but it is set within this like FNAF universe. Cause I am dog shit at creating games, so yeah, plus Click Team Fusion on Steam is like $100 something. So yeah. I might link these later on in the video when I talk about the books, but that's for another video entirely. So, yeah. So if you enjoyed this, thanks. Well, if you enjoyed my content, kudos. You actually enjoy my shit. And thanks for watching.